crafty friends, and welcome back. Today, as you can see from the title, we're going to be making DIY hot chocolate bombs. I have been seeing these everywhere, all over Instagram and all over my Facebook feed, and I did what I usually do when I see something that I really like. I thought, hey, I could probably make that. So here we are with my next installment in my DIY Try series, where I try something out that I think I can DIY and we see how it goes. So I started off with some really high intensity chocolate. That's not really the correct cooking term, but 70% cocoa chocolate. And I actually used 2 bars of this because I wanted to make quite a few of these. And I'm just going to go ahead and break that up and put it on in a bowl that is on the hob, and it's got some boiling water underneath it so we can slowly melt this chocolate. So one thing I am going to disclose way up front, I definitely did this wrong. So I spent an awful long time prepping this video and it looked amazing, and then I went to get the chocolate out the mold. It didn't want to come out. You definitely want to make sure that you temper your chocolate correctly. So I did a lot of YouTube video searching to figure out what I'd done wrong and why my chocolate wouldn't release from my molds, and I found a really great video that I'll link below. So here I've melted everything down, and then I'm actually adding some dairy milk just for a bit of sweetness because I didn't want it to be too bitter. The chocolate itself is kind of sweet, but I wanted to add some of that milk chocolate, and then just also a little bit of cocoa powder because I love French hot chocolate. French hot chocolate is the best, and I wanted this to be as close as I could get it to that. Okay, so we were talking about tempering, super important. What I learned is essentially tempering your chocolate correctly, which kind of means heating it but not letting it get so hot that you break down the bonds in the chocolate. So it will harden really nicely, it will have a really nice shine, and it will release from the mold, which is really key. So here I was trying in vain before I learned about tempering to add some cake release spray to my molds. These molds are actually really inexpensive fillable baubles. You might have an easier time with things if you haven't tempered your chocolate correctly and you're using a silicone mold, because you can peel it away from the chocolate, but because this is a hard, rigid plastic, you definitely need your chocolate to kind of pop out nice and easy. So I went ahead and added the chocolate, and I mean, look at that melted chocolate. You can't look at that and not want a hot chocolate or a chocolate bar. So I made sure to fully coat all of the edges. I actually did this twice so it would be a little thicker. Again, definitely wanted my hot chocolates to be super creamy. And I just poured away any of the excess so it wouldn't be kind of too thick at the bottom. So I did this with 4 different molds. I have some friends coming over with their kids, and we were going to the zoo, so I wanted to be able to kind of make these so we could take them with us. And yeah, here's where I came to release them from the molds. I dipped the mold into some warm water just to kind of melt the chocolate just a little to help it release. Didn't work for me. I then spent the next several hours trying to figure out how to get this chocolate out the mold without breaking it, and the only solution that I could find was that I needed to have tempered my chocolate correctly. Super easy ways to do this, and I will link a video that explained it all to me and helped me find out how to fix this. I tried putting them in the freezer, I tried using butter as my release, I tried dipping them in hot water, running them under hot water. I tried it all. I did all sorts of troubleshooting, and I actually saw somebody else on a Facebook group talking about her struggles. She'd done the same thing as me. She'd spent ages kind of creating her mold, pouring the chocolate in, and then couldn't get the chocolate out. So I managed to get a couple pieces out that had broken just a little, so I remelted the chocolate a tiny bit and just kind of salvaged them and stuck them back together. I'd gone through all this trouble. I didn't want to kind of waste what I had. So I did that, and I kind of stuck those 2 halves back together as my best effort, and then I grabbed a pan and just heated it up, and then just used the top of that just to melt the edge of this ball, and then drop it, apparently. And then I filled it with mini marshmallows because that's going to give us that chocolatey surprise. And then I did the same thing with the second half again that I'd had to kind of salvage from the broken pieces that I had. I melted that and then pressed the two halves together, and it was more of an American football shape than a true round chocolate bomb. But hey, it tasted good. So then I'm going to go ahead and show you how this works. I preheated some milk just in a saucepan and put it in a jug and then just poured it over the top, and you get that incredible moment where it cracks and all the marshmallows kind of spill out to the top, and it just looks kind of magical. I think it's a really exciting gift to do. I love hot chocolate around Christmas time. Last year I made some hot chocolate spoons for Christmas Eve, and I'll link those as well if you want to check that out. But then let me show you. So I was done filming by the time I got to this. But here you can see, if you temper your chocolate correctly, look how easy it pops out of the mold. It is incredible. You get this lovely shiny chocolate. You're able to make a perfect spherical bomb, and it looks wonderful as a gift. So if you do give these a try, check out the instructions below on how to temper your chocolate correctly, and I hope you have better success first time round than I did. Thank you so much for joining me today on this DI try. If you do make these, especially if you have them on Christmas Eve, be sure to tag me. I would love to see. And if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and tap on the subscribe button and you can ring the bell for notifications when I post. That is all from me today. I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye for now.